Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? You guys feeling good? You guys feeling good? I know I am. I'm living my best life. You guys living your best life? Hopefully. Hopefully you are. Today's gonna be a good day. I am thrilled at the overwhelmingly positive response that Baldur's Gate 3 has gotten. I'm gonna be real. Before this, everybody just thought it was gonna be like a really niche game. Hardcore fans would like it, you know, like you'd expect. But everybody was like, I don't know if it's gonna find mainstream appeal. But like, look at this. Look at this. Hold on. Where's the picture? Look at this. This is madness. 500,000 concurrent players. This was at 9 a.m. this morning. Putting it in league with like Dota 2 and CSGO. Granted, CSGO has like over 1 million, but that's because it's CSGO. Like, that's crazy. That's insane. So, oh yeah, and this was also funny. They also caused a couple of outages on Steam. And if we go here, I retweeted it as well. Yeah, the Sven posted, sorry. User reports possible problems at Steam. You can see right as it launched, all of a sudden a huge influx of problems reported because it crashed a couple of servers that Steam runs. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. This game is ridiculously huge. Not just in terms of scope, but also in terms of success, it seems. People are trying it who have never tried these types of games before. They're giving these games fresh chances, and that's tremendous. I can't even tell you how many people in that comment section of my work in progress review posted and were like, I don't know, man, I don't usually like turn-based stuff or isometric stuff, but I'll try it because I keep hearing everybody say it's amazing. And that's how you start like a new trend. Like, I do think there is something weird where people get turned off by the isometric thing, and I think it's because a lot of games were isometric and top down and turn-based back in like the early 2000s and 90s, and that's because they kind of had to be. They just didn't have much of a choice in terms of the technology available. But it's not like, just because it's an older style doesn't mean that it's bad. It's just different. And so I encourage people, if you're looking at it and you're like, hey, it looks good, but I'm just not that into turn-based stuff or top-down stuff, I encourage you to try it. Because while the turn-based stuff is certainly slower paced, that allows you to be way more tactical. It allows you to really think through movements and things. So it's different, but really, at the end of the day, Baldur's Gate 3 plays like an interactive, real-time game of D&D, where it's not just in your imagination, you can actually see and hear it. So if you've played D&D before, it's going to be right up your alley. You're going to be like, oh my God, this is amazing. I saw your BG3 video, but I've never played them types of games top down before. I mean, I might try it. I would encourage you to. The nice thing is you can try it, and if you want to return it on Steam, you can do that if it's just not for you. But I encourage you to give it a shot, because if it does click for you, it's going to be something pretty special. Yeah, Baldur's Gate is one of those franchises that was huge. It was super transformative and impactful in the late 90s, early 2000s, especially early 2000s. And then it just kind of went nowhere. It sat dormant, and just now we're seeing it, you know, get rebooted. So I think that's great. Not really rebooted, but get a sequel. I will say, Big Z, I mean, this thing is at least 80 hours, probably closer to 100. I would expect most people can probably get more out of Baldur's Gate 3 than they can out of Starfield before things start to get samey. Because Baldur's Gate 3 is like one cohesive narrative all the way through. And I've heard through the grapevine that Starfield is going to be pretty heavy on kind of hard gates. So, I mean, we already speculated about this, but basically, like, you know, you go, you do this main story quest. I don't like the flute. Hold on. We're changing the flute. Just not into the flute. We already speculated about this because they're giving you a ship. They're telling you to go to all different planets throughout the solar system and then beyond the solar system, presumably into different systems. And so we already presume that there probably were going to be hard gate checks where like, oh, your ship needs to be upgraded to this level before you can move on, and before you can explore this planet and go to that type of planet, you need this type of resistance. So we expected that already, that there was going to be some grind, especially asking you to like go to this planet, acquire X number of crafting materials or of iron or copper. So go to the copper planet where there's nothing on it except copper and get that. So I think it's going to get a little samey. It's not necessarily bad, as long as it's balanced properly. Like I've said, I'm fine with grind. Grind is bad when you're doing monotonous, tedious, boring stuff that you don't want to be doing. But if a game is grindy, but is asking you to grind fun, engaging stuff, I don't have a problem with that. Like Monster Hunter World. Like if you want to play the end game and grind for gems, you can do that. You're fighting really tough, big monster bosses, and it's really fun. It's not, in my view, a bad grind because it's continuing with the gameplay loop you already really enjoy and that you like. Whereas if it was like the worst part of the game, follow these random footprints around and find those for 10 hours, I'd have a problem with it. You underestimate my overhyped ass's ability to squeeze every single ounce of gameplay out of this game. I'll get a shit ton of hours out of Starfield. I think so, especially once they bring mods. Once they bring mods, I mean, that's going to be another animal. By the way, Black Knighted Zabatsu, thank you for the $2. Is it better than Diablo 4? Also, morning, brother. Good morning, my friend. Good to see you. Personally, it's a different kind of game. It's less of an ARPG and more of a narrative RPG. But then again, the running joke with Diablo 4 right now is that apparently the developers don't know what ARPG stands for because they keep screwing it up so badly. So personally, I think it's better than Diablo 4. That's just where I'm at. Also, shout out to Call Me Callus on Twitter. I've been intrigued but unsure about trying Baldur's Gate 3, but watching Luke Stevens' work in progress review, I'm getting this game because holy shit, followed Luke's YouTube. If you like in-depth, intelligent analysis and unbiased perspective, by the way, stuff is amazing. I appreciate you, my friend, if you're watching. Much love. And I'm flattered that so many people have been saying that they're going to get the game because I've recommended that. But it's, again, when you work very hard to avoid hype and to shed those biases, frankly, like when you do like something and when something does click, it's all the more meaningful. Like with a lot of these hype channels that just say every game is going to be the next greatest thing from Xbox, or every single thing is going to be amazing from Sony. When they say, oh, the X game looks amazing, it doesn't mean anything, right? Like it doesn't mean anything because they'll say it about anything so long as it validates their current position that Xbox has to be great every single time or whatever else. So I think it's beneficial to just be honest with it. Andre, also, thank you for 10 freaking months. That's crazy, dude. Closing in on the 1 year. That's crazy. I think in just a few weeks, we will have been on YouTube streaming for a year. So I think we shifted over and tried it in August of last year. So that's crazy. And Robert Connor, thank you also for joining. Good to have you, my friend. Thank you. I love all the new members, all the new faces and stuff. It's tremendous. This is like the ultimate game to have like an ultra-wide monitor or something to help make it more immersive. Yeah. No, especially with all of the spells and abilities on that bar, having a wider bar would be very beneficial. I know you can add rows to it, which is what I do, but if I could spread it out, I'd like that even more. Let's see. Yeah, August and September. Well, especially if you're interested in Armored Core. I know Armored Core has not clicked with a lot of people, but if that's something that interests you, there's going to be like a 2-3 week period where you get nothing done. For real. Yeah, to be fair, the bar is very low for Diablo. You're not kidding. You're not kidding. Just in time now this stream, picture in picture while I play it for myself as I work from home. Oh, awesome. Hey, Luke, not sure if you've spoken about it previously, but I'd be interested in your thoughts on Fort Solis. Looks interesting from what I've seen. From what I've seen about it, I can pull up like... let me do it this way. I can pull up just the clip of it so people know what we're talking about. Fort Solis is this game. I think we looked at it a while back. It's this thing where it's got Roger Clark in it, who was Arthur in Red Dead Redemption 2. And it looks like, I think it's set on Mars or something, but it seems interesting. It looks like, I don't know if it is Unreal Engine, but it looks like a typical Unreal Engine game. So, I don't know. I see Dead Space inspiration. I see like maybe a couple nods even to something like Callisto Protocol, though I'm sure they would lean more into the Dead Space comparisons. But it doesn't look bad. I just nothing about this really gets me excited other than Roger Clark, but honestly an actor is only as good as the script, and I don't know anything about the writing staff. In terms of gameplay, everything I've seen is like kind of generic, really tight FOV third person survival horror, which is a little played out personally. This could be amazing, but I just haven't seen anything that gets me like actually excited about it. See, this really tight FOV third person thing makes me nauseous because I'm a baby. But yeah, this 14 minutes of gameplay finishes with like a little cutscene watching on a screen. Like, show me something big and crazy. That's what I want to see. So I'm open to it. I just haven't seen anything that's really piqued my interest. Joaquin, thank you, my friend. 6 months. Jesus, been half a year already. I don't think we missed a stream since, whether it'd be live or watching on a VOD. Keep it up, Luke. Thank you, my friend. You're making this a reality. So thank you, my friend. That's some hella support. Like, it's crazy. What are your thoughts on the Oblivion remake rumors? I think it makes sense. I don't know why they wouldn't do that. That seems like a layup. I much prefer that over just another version of Skyrim.
Super chatted $10. A $5 is the least I can offer you. Your constant streams, free roam, and standard videos are all great.
Oh, thank you, my friend. Robert, a $5? Well, you doubled it. Gave it to the next person, so geez, thank you. Yeah, that's great. I appreciate you. And yeah, we've been having a lot of fun with free roam. We're gonna start, I think we've hit a groove we're feeling good about, so now we're going to start really cranking it and pushing it out to the masses. So if you've not already been following the Free Roam podcast with me and Joel Raptor, go follow us on Spotify, iTunes, whatever you listen to podcasts on, because we're going to start like really pushing it on our main channel. So we're going to see a pretty big flood of new listeners for sure. So now you can say you're one of the OGs, right? Why isn't Baldur's Gate 3 launching on Xbox yet? It's because they can't get the split screen working on Xbox, apparently. There's something about the Xbox that is just not functioning properly with that. I don't know why. It's well above my pay grade, but
Block Knighted
that's the problem.
super chatted $9.99. Do you think Enix Squared was waiting to see the full power of Microsoft's influence before considering evolving from Sony's plaything to coming over to the Microsoft platform more?
It's possible. like never attribute to malice or a master plan that which can be adequately explained by way of incompetence. And so much of what they've been doing over at Square Enix just reeks of incompetence. So I'm not sure there was like a master plan of, yes, we're going to wait until Microsoft has sorted their stuff out with Activision before we get close with each other. I'm not sure there was anything like that. I think they might have just been like really stupid and dumb and chose not to work with them because of whatever reasons. Maybe Sony just takes the executives out to better restaurants. I know that sounds petty, but there were guys that like did multi-million-dollar deals when I was in real estate with our company simply because we would like take them out to Elway's, which is like that steakhouse that John Elway owns in Denver, which is very nice. Or we take him to the, like, I wouldn't take him because I didn't have a membership, of course, but they would go out to the country club where, you know, access is like $250,000 and you have to be invited by a member to even go as a guest. And so like there were people who would do multi-million-dollar deals simply based on which brokerage firm gave them the best treats or perks. And so never like think that these big corporations are immune from that either, because a lot of these executives, I bet, are like, oh, I would work with Xbox, but they don't really wine and dine me as much, you know? Stupid, but that's how it works. Very stupid. You think they just go wherever it's best, but no. Yeah, it's just the Free Roam podcast. It'll be like Free Roam gaming podcast. Yeah, sometimes like pharmaceutical companies with doctors. Yeah, it's just it's dumb, but people love their special treatment. It's even funnier. It's technically illegal and bribery. Yeah, and they'll just say, "Oh no, we're just two businessmen going to dinner." Okay. But it happens all the time. Like all the time. Oh, and it says Joe became a member, but I don't see Joe in the list. Weird. Huh. I don't know. Well, welcome, Joe. So, yay, lobbying. Yeah, I like all that to say, I just don't think that there's any reason to think that there's any big, crazy conspiracy when it comes to Square Enix and Xbox. I think it's probably just Xbox maybe wasn't pushing that hard to get them buddy, and Sony was. And the other piece of this is like corporations are very nepotistic and incestuous. So like companies based out of New York, all of the CEOs, all of the board members are probably board members on each other's companies. They all know each other. They all go to the country club together. They all go to the same restaurants and socialite dinners and things. That's their friends. It's all like very interwoven. So when X company wants to go to Y company and make a deal, they're not sending like official letters through lawyers. They're probably just mentioning it at dinner. And that's it. It's like, did you ever see that I don't remember her name. The British royalty lady that like is super insufferable and plays the victim all the time. What is her name? Prince Harry and something? I don't know. Oh, this is it. Yeah, this type of thing happens all the time. Where like well-connected people will talk to other well-connected people to try and get each other special access to stuff. So this was like Prince Harry talking to Bob Iger at a big social event with Jay-Z casually in the background. And he's asking Bob Iger to put Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, which sounds made up, in documentaries made by Disney and National Geographic, which they own, because she does voiceovers.
Prince Harry caught on camera touting his wife's voice acting skills to Disney CEO Bob Iger. It happened at the Lion King.
Like, isn't that just so cringe? That this big event, and then he corners the CEO of Disney and tries to pressure him into putting her into documentaries. I like how uncomfortable he gets too. He's like, oh, what are you talking about? Stop it. Can't even keep it at dinner. Yeah, so imagine what happens in like behind closed doors at fancy restaurants and dinner parties and stuff. So with like Sony executives knowing Square Enix executives, knowing all these people in the same spheres, again, it could be something as simple as, oh, this CEO over here is good buddies and goes golfing on vacations on his yacht with this CEO over here. So they have a good working relationship. So they work together. It's just like, you know, I, as a YouTuber, I'll do collaborations with YouTubers, but there's some YouTubers that I'm not friends with. I just don't have the connection with. I'm not avoiding working with them. I just would rather work with people I'm already connected to, right? Because I already know I can work with them. So it makes sense that you just go where the connections are. And I think that's probably what's happening with this. That would be my guess. Also, the playtest for Jade opened up. And this is what it looks like. Joe Raptor tweeted this out. This is running on a mobile device, by the way. This is running on like an iPhone. And this is what it looks like. It's honestly, it looks pretty good for being a mobile game, but I have not been playing it. They told me I would be, and that I was invited to the beta early before everybody else, and then they just stopped responding. And apparently Joel Raptor has had the same thing where they just stopped responding to him as well. It's really weird. They've been very active in communication, except for things that matter, like beta codes. But what are you going to do? But like this is running on an iPhone. That's crazy. Like, come on. This looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. How filled with microtransactions will it be? We don't know yet. They don't have the store open, so we just have no idea. But this is looking to be like a pretty technologically impressive game. I'm going to be real. So I thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, we'll just see how that goes. Check spam. I did. I saw some guy playing on TikTok. Yeah, they've invited a bunch of like, I don't know if they just selected a random pool of people, but what was frustrating for Jor and I is like we were told we'd be able to play it and then make content on it, and then they set us up to do that, and then just never follow through. Like they just never sent the codes. It's really weird. Also, I want to know your honest opinions of this. What do you think of this? Somebody on Twitter posted pictures of a reimagined Witcher 3. So he said, I'm not involved with the Witcher 1 remake, but if I were, I'd imagine it looking something like this. Main goals for the project were to adapt the UI UX of the original to cross-platform controls and mix the styles from across Witcher franchises and Gwent. What do you think of this styling? I think it definitely leans into the Witcher 3 vibes a lot. The menu system, it reminds me of Fortnite a little bit, and I don't know why. But honestly, this does look probably better than the original Witcher, which was pretty confusing. The map, certainly minimalistic, very modern. Very modern. It was important for me to try to maintain some of the visual motifs of The Witcher 1, a greenish color palette, circular decorative elements, theme of mutation. At the same time, I wanted to adapt the layouts of to the likes of The Witcher 3 and Breath of the Wild. So you can see like original Witcher 3, the redesign, mixing the two. Original, Jesus, yeah, the original HUD. Dude, so yeah, it's like moments like these where I'm like, I can kind of appreciate streamlined tabs and stuff. A bunch of visual references from different games. Different projects. Oh, that's funny. The model he used is an overpaint of a little MT collectible figure. That's funny. I don't know. Personally, it's clean. I think if they were to announce it like this, they might get some blowback just because it's certainly very modern. But when it actually launches, I don't think anybody would care. I think everybody would still buy it and play it. Because, I mean, it looks good. It looks very modern. And when you compare it to the original was clearly built for playing on, like, a PC with a mouse and keyboard. And even then, it didn't really work very well. So I thought that was pretty cool. Pretty interesting reinvention. So I actually really like it. It's clean, kind of looks like a mobile port of The Witcher 3. A little bit. Can I share the link? Yes, I can. Let me share. Copy, paste. Yeah, go send him some love. Fortnite. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It seems like anytime a game launches now and looks even moderately modern, it's like, oh, it's Fortnite. But I think it's just that Fortnite is what we consider modern. Like, Fortnite really is at the cutting edge with a lot of stuff. You know, it's a very minimalistic design. They try to avoid having any extra bloat. This just screams like extra mobile currency, though. You know, when they put the big currency up in the top right, then they have the second currency right here. That always makes me think when I see that of like, oh crap, are they going to sell me gold bars and then I convert the gold bars into dragon eggs and then I redeem dragon eggs for special cosmetics? You know, it's just every single time it seems like that's how it goes. Man, I really hope CDPR is back to form with the next Witcher game. The best bellwether is going to be, in my opinion, the Phantom Liberty DLC. Because they blew it so hard with Cyberpunk. I think they really need to earn back some respect. Some damn respect. And I'm hoping they can do that. Everything I've seen about it looks really good. But just like with Bethesda, with Fallout 76, I think you've got to hold CDPR's feet to the fire. Otherwise, you're being a hypocrite. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be like, no, I'm not going to pre-order this. I'm not giving you any money till I know this runs well. And you guys will know if the game launches and if I get a review code and I play it and I'm like, guys, it runs well. That, okay, I think Cyberpunk really was a fluke. What worries me about Cyberpunk, though, is that was such an insane blunder. Like, it wasn't like what happened with Callisto Protocol, where it seems as though they honestly did just patch the wrong file, which, if you hadn't heard, apparently that's what happened. Apparently somebody that was issuing the update didn't check a box for like include the shader compilation, whatever, and issued that update to everybody. And so broke the game for the official launch when they had already fixed the problem, which I just thought was really funny. So Cyberpunk wasn't that. Cyberpunk was just a game that was like 2 years too early. And for that to release, there has to be serious managerial issues where there's no communication, there's no clear statements being made between developers to executives. And that's just unfortunate because I don't know how easy it is to fix something like that. My buddy most likely will get the Cyberpunk DLC, so I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, well, there you go. There you go. And I'm hoping it's amazing. And I think it probably will be amazing if it runs well. But my question is how well it runs. But they've also spent, like, at this point, going on 3 years refining performance. And now it runs pretty well. Jack's back. How's the baby? The baby's doing very well. He's just a cute little fella. He's living his best life. I somehow managed to play through Cyberpunk with minimal performance issues on my Series X. Good for you, my friend. I will tell you, there have been so many people that have commented on, like, I did the video on Jedi Survivor, and I mentioned that had really bad performance issues. And people are like, actually, it's funny when they say actually, to correct you on this, I didn't have any bugs or problems when I played it. Like, good for you, dude. but you are an exception to the rule. That game ran like hot steaming ass when it launched. So I'm glad you didn't have problems, but most people did. Like, this isn't that controversial of a thing. Most people did. Work is crazy, but I finally made it. Namaste and happy Friday to my people. Good to see you, Failed Wizard. I'm glad that work is maybe subsiding for a moment. I mean, is it crazy, like crazy busy, like you're being productive and stuff is going well? Or is it crazy like my boss just killed my other boss with a chainsaw? The English language is not very precise. Super productive. Oh, that's good. That's good. It's like Jacob and I were kind of in crunch getting the Atomic Heart video out and then the Baldur's Gate thing ready. Because for a few days, I was like, maybe I can finish Baldur's Gate 3 before the game launches, before the embargo lifts, so I can get the review out and get that out ahead of time. Maybe we'll do that. And so I just grinded and grinded and grinded. It's why the streams were shorter, all of that. And finally, I realized we're just not going to finish it. So let's just relax a little bit. We got the video done. Told Jacob to get some sleep. So Jacob texted me. He was like, yeah, I'm going to sleep from 10 to 10. So he went to bed last night at 10 and slept till 10 this morning. So I was like, yeah, you got to do it, man. You got to recover. Because just so you guys know, with those late night videos that we crunch through, like Jacob is up from, you know, I will film the video the night before and then he'll start editing it maybe at 9. And then he finishes cutting it together at like 1, maybe. He watches it through, adds extra elements by 2, renders it at 3, uploads it by 4, sleeps for 2-3 hours, and then I wake up and send him notes, and then he makes those changes, and then we upload the final version, and I make all of the thumbnails and everything. So, like, Jacob Crunch is mad. Oh no, I saw Luke being mentioned in the Armored Core 6 over it. That's amazing. I'm sure it was nothing but nice things, right? I'm sure. I don't know, man. I've actually started looking around, and if you guys know anybody, let me know, because I have been looking for a YouTuber that knows Armored Core that might want to do a collaboration where basically they try to sell me on it and sell my audience on it and explain what makes those games special. So if you know of any creators out there that have done a lot of stuff on Armored Core, shout them out and I'll reach out and we'll see if we can do like a collab or something. So Rory Young Young, are you young out? Are you young out? Respectfully, I don't think Vati would do a collab. I don't think so. Give me Astronomer. If I was, I wouldn't be able to talk about it. What I will say is I have not been invited to like... I've not been invited to fly out anywhere or do anything like that. So I'm not being flown out to any early access events, which, to be clear, is not a surprise. Like, for them to give me special treatment and not special treatment to the guys that have been like sucking them off for years wouldn't make a lot of sense, right? It's like when they flew out like some really small YouTubers with like a few thousand subs to go and try Hogwarts Legacy early. Like, I wasn't upset about it because I'm like, yeah, these guys, like, their entire channels are based around this one game, and they will get so much more out of that opportunity than I would, or than another, like IGN would. So I thought it was like actually pretty cool that they invited small creators, gave them a huge platform, exclusive content that they could blow up. I thought that was really awesome. And for Bethesda, I think it only makes sense to give, you know, people that really, really enjoy filleting them special access. So yeah, Colt Eastwood was flown out for Redfall. Yeah, I try to like smile and nod and go along with everything, but that's a guy where I just frankly can't really respect the content because it's just straight up puff pieces, like without any sort of critical thought at all, like reading word for word from the Microsoft website of features listed in Redfall and saying, this game looks to be one of the best games I've ever played. In fact, I just ejaculated 15 times thinking about it. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. But if that's the kind of content you like, more power to you. Lucas, how about you break every single NDA you're under just to be silly, even goofy? Yeah. Yeah, there's a handful of NDAs. The tricky thing with NDAs is that they're always like kind of vague, just like a little. They'll say like, here is an NDA and we're going to share stuff with you that you can't share. And you're like, okay, makes sense to me. And then they'll throw in a bunch of like information that's publicly available and then a couple tidbits of what isn't. And so frankly, it can be easy. And this is what's happened a lot where YouTubers slip occasionally, where it's all this publicly available info and then all this not publicly available info that's interspersed. And so somebody's talking about the game and then lets one of those little bits that they're not allowed to share slip when they're discussing the publicly available stuff, because it all blends together and you can get in a little bit of trouble. Can you say how many NDAs you're under without saying who? Let me think. I think as of today, oh no, so that would be 5. I think 5 or 6 as of today. Some of that is stuff like we started months ago that's still in the works. Some of it is not going to start happening for like a month or two. So can you say hypothetically and draw out analogies to break out NDAs? I mean, I think it's all just whether it's in good faith. Like, you don't want to say anything that is betraying the trust of the company that is sharing privileged information with you. And so for me, like, it's like I've said before, like, it doesn't take a genius to be like, oh, I asked Luke, did you get a review code for Baldur's Gate 3? And then if I'm under NDA, I'm just like, I can't say. If the answer was no, I would just say no, right? If the answer was yes, I couldn't say yes. Some companies say that you can communicate it, but sometimes it's just vague and they don't say whether or not you can. So you just don't confirm it. So it's one of those things where it's like, is the answer yes or no? I can't confirm yes or no, but that basically means yes, right? Dude, yeah, I've seen Jade. It looks really good. Colt Eastwood was saying in a video that Starfield was the first true next-gen game. I mean, we do live in America where it is your right to say incredibly stupid things. So I guess he's exercising that right. More power to him. Like I said, like, the guy's got a great voice. He makes good videos. I just can't stand that he has like no concern with whether what he's saying is true or if it's just like hyping up like the most insane, insufferable types of Xbox or Sony ponies or whatever. Like it's all the same extreme of guys that do that. Such a weird rule about NDAs. Just let reviewers say they have a code, not like that reveals anything about the actual game. Yeah, and some do. Like, some will list on the sheet. I think Ubisoft has done this before, where they will list like in bullet points what you can share, what you can't share. And in the what you can, they're like, you can share the fact that you have a review code, but you cannot share when the review embargo is lifting and stuff like that, because they found when that's leaked and it's like, oh, the review embargo is the day before instead of 3 days before. That means they think the game will suck, blah, blah, blah. And so they're like, just don't bother with it. Just don't announce that. So it's just case by case. A lot of the time, though, these companies are working through marketing agencies that do all of it for them. So it's not even necessarily up to the developers or the publisher. It's just like a subsidiary group, unless the publisher is really big. What happens when you break an NDA? They sue the ever-living crap out of you. Like, you can get fined and be forced to pay out tens of millions of dollars. I signed an NDA once that described, it said, like, under the penalty section, it said, you acknowledge, it's, of course I'm paraphrasing, but it was like, you acknowledge that for this information to get out would cause irreparable damage to whatever project it was. This was years ago. And for you to share that information would like, the penalty would not simply be monetary. They're like, there would be no monetary amount that would make up for that mistake, basically. So they're basically saying, like, if this gets out, we're going to come at you with everything for everything, and you agree that that's fair. It's like pretty sketchy. Luke, what did end up happening to the guy who stole your PS5? Oh, I filed all of the paperwork. I did, like, I crossed my T's, dotted my I's. Eventually the Sony, I think I mentioned this at one point, but eventually one of the Sony like store reps reached out and was like, yeah, so you didn't receive your product. We see you filed the report with, maybe it was UPS. I don't remember if it was UPS or FedEx. I think it was UPS. But we see you filed your report with them. We're tracking that, so we know that you're not just making this up, like you're stating under penalty of perjury, basically, that, I don't know if it's perjury, but you're swearing to the fact that you didn't get this PS5. And they said that they were remote bricking it, so that serial number could never be activated. So if the guy got that console, and well, basically what happened is I ordered a I guess I should rewind. Basically, I ordered a PS5 through the PlayStation Store. It was set to be delivered, I think, through UPS. This was maybe last year, I think. And then it was set for delivery, and it just was never delivered. It was really, really weird. And it looked like what had happened is that the UPS delivery guy just marked it as delivered, but kept it himself because it was marked as coming from PlayStation. It was in the box, clearly a PS5. And so it looked like he just kind of kept it for himself. And then he dropped it off somewhere. And then later he came in his personal car, came and picked it up, and was just like, yeah, I don't know, the package got stolen off his porch or something. I don't know. So I filed all the reports and everything. And I'm like, dude, I have a Ring doorbell. I can see him drive by and like, there's no package. Okay. So like, I know it wasn't delivered and I can prove it. And so I filed all the reports with UPS. I linked them, the Ring doorbell footage. I did everything by the book. And then with that report, you know, UPS said that they were going to start investigating. And then I took that report number from UPS and went to the PlayStation Store and filed a complaint with them that I never received my PlayStation, gave them the report number with UPS and everything to show that I was taking it seriously, that I didn't receive it. I was doing everything as they want. And then the PlayStation rep said that she remote bricked the console using whatever serial number, however they do that, the hardware ID, I guess, and that they would be issuing either a refund or they could send me another PlayStation. I think at that time I was just like scarred by it. So I think I took the refund and then I think I ordered the PS5 instead through like Best Buy, I think. It's been a minute. I'd have to refresh. But basically, like, if that guy did in fact steal it, maybe it was honestly lost. Who knows? And if he did steal it, it's really funny to me that he got the console bricked. And so he probably was like really excited, got home, opened it up, plugged it in, and then just couldn't activate it. Or realistic, I think that was like a couple days later. So he probably activated it, started playing on it, bought some games for it, and then woke up one day and it was bricked. And then he got a call from UPS and they're like, yeah, so we think you stole this. We're going to fire you. And like when UPS comes at you for stealing something, they crucify
Daniel
you.
Solazano super chatted $5. When do you expect reviews for Starfield? When do you think reviewers will get codes? Do you expect to get one?
I would expect them to send it probably towards the end of the week. Sometimes it leaks over to Monday, but let me just pull up the So, like, if we're looking at our calendar, Starfield launches, what, the 6th? Early access is 5 days before that, so probably on the 1st. I would guess reviews drop on the 31st. And they probably send codes out either the 28th or the 25th. And then, like, IGN and places that make guides will probably get a week before that, around the 18th. So I would guess most YouTubers and reviewers will start to see it 25th or the 28th. Play it for a few days. We'll see if they can get through it. And then we'll get that. I mean, ideally, like, they'd already be sending the game out. And maybe they have. But in my experience, they usually wait to send it out until like it's a little closer. Even big games like Baldur's Gate 3 we had for going on a week. Maybe it was like 4 or 5 days. And that game is way too big to finish in that time if you're a human that's sleeping and eating and stuff. So yeah, that's when I expect. As for whether I expect to get one, I do not expect to get one, because again, it just doesn't make sense for a company to send a code to somebody that's been very critical. They would much rather send a code to somebody that they know is going to give it an amazing review score, that's going to call it a near perfect game, that's going to call it the first true next gen game yet, like, which doesn't make any sense, but like, they would rather send review codes to those people who are going to hype it up than send it to somebody that might look at it a little critically and be like, it's fine, or it's pretty good. But like, this is why I've got to give credit to like Focus Entertainment and to Ubisoft, for example, because I've raked those companies across the coals for games that I thought were not very good. That Evil West game I thought was just bad. I just didn't think it was very good. Like, as a Game Pass game, I guess try it, but I just didn't think that was very good. And a couple of their other projects I thought fell kind of flat. And then Ubisoft, you guys know me, I love tearing them apart because they make really weird decisions sometimes. And I called Valhalla a travesty of open world design. And they still send review codes. Like, I respect the hell out of them for that, because they know that I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to just tell them what they want to hear. I'm not going to just type it up. And yet they still send me the code to get my feedback and let me review it and share it with my audience. Like, that deserves some credit, because there's a lot of bigger companies that frankly have better reputations online that don't do that. Yes, I called Todd Howard evil. It's maybe a slight exaggeration. But what he did with Fallout 76, I thought was evil. I thought it was extremely unethical and immoral. And I would stand by that, which is why I'm saying it again now. Even though probably on paper, I should be sucking up to him trying to get a review code, but I just don't care. Like, I'm going to make a video regardless. Send me a code. And like, honestly, this is what I also just don't understand. If they send me a code, if the game really is that good, they send me a code, and then I'm like, guys, it actually is that good. Starfield's amazing. That's going to mean a lot to all of you who know my standards, who know where I'm coming from. That's going to mean way more than if Colt goes and is like, whenever I play this game, the moment I boot up and see the logo, my nipples get mighty hard. I could cut glass with these things. Like, that doesn't mean anything to anybody, because he says stuff like that all the time. Word for word, almost, allegedly. Colt, I love you. It's okay, baby. Have you had any contact with anybody at Bethesda or any contact under NDA? I mean, I've spoken to people at Bethesda. As for like specifically about review codes, my understanding is they're going through a third-party agency. So technically, no. But I have talked with people that have connections to the game. Please explain to me why Fallout 76 was so hated. I mean, probably the best way to do it is just to look up The Fall of 76 by Internet Historian. It's a nice, lean 26-minute video. It's straightforward, and it will tell you everything you need to know about Fallout 76 and why everybody considers it a total disaster. So I would encourage you to check it out here. Did I just not put that level of... Oh, no, I did. Weird. I was like, why is there no... That's weird. It's weird seeing my videos so high up. It's just funny to me that so many people are just doing straight reactions where they're just watching the video. Like, what? Jesus. But yeah, The Fall of 76. Can't recommend it enough, and that will give you everything you need to know in terms of why it's so hated. Not only was it really broken, but it was ethically corrupt, morally bankrupt. It was built to milk consumers out of every last penny. And they stopped hiding it. I mean, at one point they just stopped pretending as though there was any question. They just started to own it and be like, yeah, no, and you're upset about how we priced the in-game store? Well, we're also launching $100 a year service where you can now get like, what was it? It was like I think you could get a refrigerator basically to store food in so it didn't spoil. You could get some, I think, monthly in-game credits, atomics or atoms for the in-game store, stuff like that. Like, they just owned it, which you gotta kind of respect at the same time. Let's see. Luke, but I do feel you have biases too. Oh, I absolutely have biases. There is no doubt at all. Perfect example is freaking, like, you see the Pyramid of Giza down there, or Titanic, or Hogwarts Castle? Like, I had to be very honest and disclose all this stuff, or the Witcher books, or the New 52 Batman comics. Like, I have biases. I have franchises that I like and I love, and those franchises I start higher on that scale of confidence in, because I like franchises that appeal to these different types of things and interests that I have. My point is that I will try very, very hard to disclose those biases and then to also shed them when I'm evaluating the product, which is why, like, Assassin's Creed Origins, I'd probably say is like an 8 out of 10 game. But because it's set in ancient Egypt and I have that bias, for me personally, it's like a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, because it's a game that allows me to explore the pyramids, which is a dream come true. Or in the same way, like Hogwarts Legacy, as somebody that likes Harry Potter, for me, probably like a 7.5 out of 10 in terms of a game, maybe even a 7, especially with performance issues. But being a Harry Potter game, or in the franchise, and allowing you to explore Hogwarts Castle and live your life as a wizard, I thought that probably adds a point or two. So it goes all the way up to like a 9 out of 10 for people who are fans of that have that bias. So I absolutely have biases. My point is, I think it's really important to disclose them, and then to also try to shed them when you're looking at something objectively. And it's not to say that you can't lump them back in at the end, like I just did with each of these, where it's like, yeah, it's a 7.5, but with the bias factored in, it's probably more like a 9 to a person like that. What I can't stand is when somebody pretends like they either don't have biases, or they just like refuse to acknowledge that that's affecting them at all. Like when you're just saying that Starfield is the first true next gen game, which is factually wrong, but you just don't care because you want to affirm that bias. Where am I? Luke, what's your favorite Harry Potter movie? Mine is probably Chamber of Secrets. Harry Potter is one of my favorite movies, franchises. Probably Prisoner of Azkaban. It's just so well done. It's so well done. And also the cinematography in Prisoner of Azkaban is mind-blowing. It's crazy. I wonder what's happening with the Quidditch game. I feel it's been very quiet, I feel. All I will say is that they've been doing a lot of play tests. Like probably every other week for months. Is my understanding. You can see people on Twitter talking about it. So my understanding is that they're just play testing, and they'll probably get to a point where they can share more in the future. I don't know. But they're just working on it, I think. Thoughts on Fitch down, downgrading the long-term rating for the US. I mean, it's not a surprise, frankly. It's probably fair. There's so many things, like the fact that there's even collateralized debt obligations or CDOs for student loans is horrifying. If that doesn't scare you for the long-term health of the market, I don't know what will. Like, that's insane. Imagine how much Luke would defend Jedi Survivor if he loved Star Wars. Yeah, dude, it would be crazy. I would never shut up about it. Oh, man. Oh, no, Zach. Careful. Careful talking like that. You might get got. AC Armored Core looks cool, I guess, but the graphics don't look great to me. I don't know if it's just me or if I've seen too many fanboys saying it's fine. Yeah, I think look, graphics do not a great game make. Just to be clear, graphics do not a great game make, but really good graphics certainly help a game. I don't think anybody would say bad graphics are an asset. So good graphics are a good thing, but you don't need great graphics or cutting edge photorealistic graphics or an amazing art style or anything to be in the running for Game of the Year. However, one surefire way to draw attention to lackluster graphics and make them seem worse than they probably actually are is to pretend that they're not that bad. It's what I don't understand about people that just like reject reality or pretend like nothing's happening. Like, it doesn't make any sense at all to me because it is there. Like, the graphics clearly are not up to par with a lot of the competition releasing nowadays, but that's not necessarily a problem. I don't think that's the end of the world. But when people act as though it's just not a problem at all, it's just so cringy to me. Identity. Oh, not gonna customize genitals. I saw a bunch of people online that were getting banned off Twitch or suspended off Twitch because they because they kept screwing up and accidentally sharing, let's just say, more than they should have, which is really funny. Wait, this game is co-op? Yeah, up to 4 total. So you can all be in the same party, exploring, doing stuff together. And it's pretty great. Drow, human, elf, dragonborn, half orc. Of intense emotion. Half orcs are more inclined to act than contemplate, whether it be rage burning their bodies, compels them to fight, or the love filling their hearts inspires acts of incredible kindness. And basic racial speed. Dark vision, relentless endurance. Send a critical hit. Okay. Is this? I think this is our melee boy. I think this is him. Is Baldur's Gate 3 better than The Witcher 3? They're just different. They're just different, frankly. Should we just make Shrek? I kind of like the look of the red, though. Yeah, they're just different. Like, this is a very narrative-heavy RPG, whereas The Witcher 3 is much less narrative. Let's just mess him up. He lives outside. He's not going to have great... Maybe have a vitiligo slider. That's funny. Okay, we'll do that. Oh, wait.
What was that?
Let's hope the local...
Hells, something just woke up down here.
Be wary.
It's opened.
More of those wretched things. There's magic keeping it.
Where to now?
What was that?
Let's hope the locals are friendly.
Hells, something just woke up down here.
Probably that one. Oh, ooh, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, I like that. A tattoo color. Eyes. I can't make them black. Something cool like that. Makeup. Little smoky eye. Oh, no, he's been crying. Probably smoky eye. I think that looks good. And then hair. Something deeply upsetting about this. Long fluming locks. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. A little pompadour. A little pompadour action. Oh, that's not bad. Oh, I'm gorgeous. Look at that half part. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I kind of like the Tommy Wiseau hair. Was this it? No, even longer. Where was the Tommy Wiseau hair? No, that's a little too curly. I think this was it. Love it. Yeah, you can even customize down to like the gray neutrals. That's crazy. Facial hair, a bearded orc. Oh, hi, Mark. Okay, proficiencies, simple weapons, light armor, medium, heavy, athletics, acrobatics, intimidation, strength, initiative, then hit points.
You need a guardian.
Need a guardian. Probably her. Just gonna go with this. Let's see. We'd love to see Baldur's Gate 3 DLC have some characters from Critical Role. Oh, that would actually be really funny. That would be really, really funny. Yeah, beware of customizing PP. Yeah. Notice I steer clear to that. Won't lie, I get a little bothered by people powering through character creators with reckless abandon. It's mildly triggering. What game was it that did... Remember they had like... Maybe it was a Ubisoft game. They allowed you to take a selfie on your cell phone, and then they crafted the NPC using whatever photo scan to look like you. I distinctly remember a game that had that, but I don't remember what it was. Am I alone? Am I just making this up? It's probably in a handful of games. It's never worked well. 2K has that. Does it work well in 2K at least? Because I definitely have never played 2K, so I... Oh, yep, there it is. WWE? No, I've never played WWE. Sports games, I could see that. That makes sense. Maybe I'm thinking of like... I played the UFC games way back in the day. Way back in the day. Wasn't the Fallout 76 monetization thing more from ZeniMax trying to sell than BGS just coming up with the idea? Redfall was also being an example. Yeah, no, exactly. But the point is, like, that management is still at the company. So the people that were okay with that for quick profits to boost numbers, those people were, like, they're still there. So it's not like they've gotten rid of the sickness there. When in 2024 do you think Star Wars Outlaws is coming? There's a lot of speculation that it could actually be early in the year, because Ubisoft said at their earnings call that they have one more big game releasing basically January, February, or March that they did not list in the lineup of releases. And one of the games they didn't list in the lineup was Star Wars Outlaws, but they would not say if they had already announced that game or not. They wouldn't say if it was Star Wars or not. So there's still speculation, but it could be early next year. Personally, I don't think that makes sense. I think it would make more sense for them to release it in the holiday season, but they might have other stuff kind of lined up for the holiday where they just think that they don't need to wait it. Was Avatar? Yeah, Avatar was listed. Avatar is going to come this fall. So like it's launching when they said it is. What else could it be? Jor Raptor and I were speculating that maybe it was this new Immortals Phoenix Rising sequel, but that was canceled, so that it's not that. And then we also were speculating that there could be a totally separate game, because it's not X Defiant. X Defiant was already listed, so it's not that. So as far as I can tell, it's kind of got to be Star Wars, or there's some other huge game that we just have not heard anything about. Far Cry is still coming. That's in like the early to mid stages of development, is my understanding. So Far Cry 7, it's not going to be that. As for others, like, it's not Beyond Good and Evil 2, because that's still considered early development, even though it was announced in 2008. Because of course. So yeah, it's confusing. There's a lot of mixed messages. Nobody really knows what's going on with it. But there's some big game Ubisoft has up their sleeves releasing early next year that they've not mentioned yet. Which I don't know, personally, I don't know why they don't just say it. You know, like, it's also the thing, I've just never understood why these companies have to be so coy all the time. Like, why can't they just say what it is? Just come out and be like, oh yeah, we're working on these games. This is what we're doing. Like, I just don't think it has to be that complicated.
Better not be cursed.
We are trapped. Do you think Codename Red will be called that, or do you think it'll have a different name? Oh, it'll have a different name. They'll probably announce it, like, I don't know how long they're going to wait, but I think they're going to have a separate name for it for sure. Black Flag remake, unless that was deemed no trustworthy leak. No, that is pretty much confirmed. They're working on that. Everybody I've seen talking about it is pretty sure. However, it's still considered very early on.
The exposed brain quivers in expectation.
Waiting for Game Awards, builds immediate hype, and releases in a couple months, maybe. Yeah, it could very well be the next strategy, marketing strategy.
You realize you're talking to an intellect devourer, a minion of the...
Remove us from this body, from this case. Free us.
Okay. See the D&D inspiration? You gotta love that. Yeah, maybe that's just what they're doing. We know Todd Howard is already saying he much prefers, oh god, he much prefers to do, I'm just gonna rip it apart, the short marketing cycles where they announce it, wait a few months, and then drop it, which is funny because that's the opposite of what they did with Starfield.
The skull holds fast.
Jesus Christ. Glad I could help. Glad I could help. Wow, that was something else, I'll tell you what. What was the point of that, sir? I don't know. Let's go find our friend. Todd's leather drip got you acting up. Yeah, it's got us all acting up, dude. Oh yeah. Run, run, run. Drinner. Oh, there it goes. I just have to say it or think it, and then it'll trigger. I'll let it read it off. And then she just jumps straight off the ship.
Super chatted $10. Luke, please win me over on Baldur's Gate. I really want this, but I hate turn-based combat. I am too dumb to know how to do it well, so it always becomes a boring and frustrating experience every time.
Well, so Drinner, first of all, thank you for the 10. That's very generous. I will say, like, first and foremost, we can kind of show you here in this next bit. Turn-based combat is a lot about status effects. Things move more slowly, so you just have to be prepared to, like, apply a poison effect on them or a bleeding effect on them, and then let them whittle down in health over the course of a turn or two. I think because people are used to really fast-paced real-time combat, they want to just rush it and be like, okay, get in there, deal this damage, they'll be dead within 30 seconds, when that's not really how these types of games work. Frankly, like, it takes a little bit more finesse to it to get it working. So like with this, we'll just go like very straightforward. Rush attack, lacerate. So it's much more about positioning, about carefully arranging your attacks. And then, no, I can't hop. So we'll just call it there. And this is the tutorial section, so it's not a great example. But we'll get there. Why do I stream on YouTube instead of Twitch? For one, Twitch is just kind of like, personally, I think it's kind of a bit of a dying platform. I just have a lot of problems with leadership and how they've been going about things. Plus, I really don't like the feeling that at any day I could wake up and be basically like lose my livelihood just because they decided I wasn't the type of person they wanted streaming on their platform. Like, that's just insane that you can just wake up and basically not have a job. It's a little unnerving personally. So I would say that that is, for me, one of the main reasons I'm not that thrilled about it. But I mean, as for other things, we experimented a lot. We found that YouTube worked really well for our particular type of content because we do shorter streams that are a little more lean. Just keep what I have. And that works for what we're doing. If I was just getting on and like streaming gameplay for 6 hours, Twitch definitely would be better. Those types of streams don't do super great on YouTube, but for what we do, YouTube works pretty well. Because I'm not on Twitch. Yeah, exactly. Well, and just frankly, we found like we're in a dry spell right now because... Oh, I'm going to touch stuff. We're in a dry spell right now because the summer's usually slow. But back in like February, March, April, May, we were at like 600 viewers per stream. And then we had the baby in June and that kind of threw us off a little bit. But we're getting back into the swing of things. Do you think Baldur's Gate 3 will be enjoyable for someone who's never played D&D, looking to pick it up, but I know next to nothing about it? I would say
usable at first.
hit it.
Nothing. The console remains dormant.
I would say that probably this is going to get you into D&D.
The console appears.
Like the structure of D&D is basically built around certain hit rolls.
Mechanisms are completely unrecognizable.
Um,
Nothing. The console remains.
leave. Okay. They're based around certain hit rolls. It's based around certain stat effects. So you can see like the weapons all have a range, like 2 to 9 damage. That's determined by rolling that 1d8 dice plus 1 piercing. So a lot of these systems are already working in a lot of the games you play now. The difference is in this game, they just show you how it's working and why it's working the way it is. So if it says like 4 to 13, then this is described as having, 1d10 or 1d8 plus 3 slashing effect. And that weapon also, because I have proficiency with that type, so basically I've been trained to use that type of weapon, I unlock all of these extra abilities that I can use. And for the combat in this, there's an action you see with the green bubble, and then the triangle, which is a bonus action that you get once per turn. And so some abilities, like this one, use a bonus action. And then others use the full action, like this. So I can move, use an action, and then use a bonus action. If I want to take a potion, that's a single use item, but it's a bonus action. So I can take this potion and still deal damage with a regular attack. Or some attacks will use bonus actions, for example, like this pommel strike. So I could go in, use a full action and a bonus action to do both of those. So it starts to sound much more like a board game or a tabletop RPG. And that's because, frankly, that's what it's built on. And a lot of games operate with these same systems. They just simplify it down to where you don't see it. So they might have it where in real time, your ability has a cooldown. That's basically what this is. It's just you used it this turn, this instance of time, and then you'll use it again in the next turn. It's like a lot of it is stuff you're going to be familiar with. It's just wrapped in a slightly different package.
Traps, please.
Let's go over there. But as for Baldur's Gate, like, it's certainly very different than what I think a lot of people are used to. Oh, God.
Faint images appear in your mind. A brain, a Githyanki warrior, and
Oh,
centuries
get your ass over
of
here.
darkness.
There we go. So, oh, he's got good movement, baby. He's got good movement. Lacerate. There we go. She did. She did. And then also building out your party. So when you're playing with friends, this would be like whoever you're playing with. They would be controlling this other character that's doing whatever they want to do. You can also toggle group mode so you can separate. So I've done this in battles where I want to get like her set up in one position, then I move over here, and then I engage, and then we all kick into combat together. So you can get very, very nuanced with it. You can also hide if you want to stealth. So there's a lot of moving parts, but there's a lot here. Where was the control panel? Here it is.
Seems simple enough.
Can you zoom in and play it similar to third person? Yeah, I mean, I can get in this close.
Can't read the script.
Have her try the rolls. So with these, I'm trying to look at these things, and instead of telling me like, oh, you can't read it, it's actually rolling a dice in the background to determine whether or not I can, and then I fail those rolls, so I just can't see it. But I'm gonna push the buttons anyways,
Demonic energy radiates from the prisoners.
because I ain't no
They
bitch.
do not react.
Other than Egypt, where would I set the next Far Cry?
Machine made them hostile.
Maybe can I push him in? Not quite. I'm honestly not sure. I think there's a few options for where a good setting would be, but I'm honestly not sure. Do you have any ideas? Where would the next Far Cry be? I was hoping to knock him in there, but dude, he dodged both of those. My God. Jesus. There we go. Goodness gracious. Okay, go over here. We can heal up. China. Why would anybody want a new Far Cry? Because they sell millions of copies. I know it's weird to think, but like the reason they keep making these franchises is because they're very, very successful. They make stupid amounts of money. So. Nobody really likes Far Cry. It's certainly a more...
The construction is too alien.
This ship is crashing. Do you intend to die? It cannot be helped.
Sorry, babe. I don't think I have any fire effects or anything. Sorry. That didn't work.
The console remains dormant. Nothing. The console remains.
Yeah, I think that just is what it is. Sorry, babe. Sorry, babe. Yeah, it's easy for us to kind of get into our bubble where we think, oh, well, I don't like Far Cry, or I don't like these games, or these games are super bland to me, so everybody must feel the same way. But these games sell like ridiculous amounts of copies. Like, it's pretty outrageous how much money they make. And so just because you personally might not engage with it, or like I might not think they're exceptional, they still sell gangbusters. Like ridiculous amounts. Oh, Jesus. Sucks to suck.
Connect the nerves of the transponder. We must escape. Now.
Do it. We will deal with the Geich after we escape.
Yeah, I just am baffled people eat up the same stuff. Yeah, no, I'm also a little baffled because it seems like people should have gotten fed up a long time ago, but like I think it starts to be reflected in market fatigue for sure. So they'll start to see sales numbers drop, or like players won't play their games for weeks and weeks, months and months, years on end. They'll start to get a little sick of it. But it's definitely the case that a lot of people eat up these games, even though I'm personally kind of baffled by it. A Cold War Far Cry set in the Soviet Union. Yeah, I just think if you're going to do that, they have to be like pretty serious. And Ubisoft has this weird thing where like they're allergic to serious content matter or subject matter. And I don't know why. Like if they tell the story of like the Cold War in a serious way, I think people will respect it. But instead, like they always have to mix in some goofy stuff as if that's what makes games interesting. And I just don't think that's the case. Sucks to suck, dude. Far Cry in Canada. Yeah, all of the grenades would just be maple syrup jars. Just throw maple syrup at somebody. That could work. Oh, is that one of the touch ones? Oh, yeah, you're to heal yourself. Oh, yeah. That explains it. Proficiency, skill of chosen ability. Ooh, geez. 16 total damage. That sucks. There was a time where I was super excited for Ubisoft games. I remember how unimaginably hyped I was for AC Brotherhood and AC 3-2. Got tired of it a couple of AC titles after that. It would be great to see them get back to that level. It really would. I hope they can figure it out, because like the more awesome games we have to play, the better. Like, I hope Ubisoft figures it out. I hope Starfield is kick-ass and awesome. I don't know if they will be, but we're gonna find out. Ooh, one shot, baby. What do I think of the AC Aztec game? I don't know any, like, next to anything about it, so I don't really have much to say. I think that setting has a lot of potential, but it also has potential to piss a lot of people off, because there's, from what I understand, I just watched a documentary about this the other night. There is a little bit of speculation, and especially there's a lot of, I think, mixed emotions with people about the Aztec legacy, which I guess is what they could call it, Aztec legacy. But a lot of people, especially in that community, don't love being whittled down to just being like the oh, it's the civilization that sacrificed people and ripped out their hearts and stuff. Like, they don't like being known for that naturally, so they would like the story to be told in a different way. And I would expect if Ubisoft comes out and they have stuff like that in the game, then they'll reach or face some blowback. You know, just like, imagine if Call of Duty did a, you know, in the World War II game, they did a mission where you're flying the plane and dropping bombs on Hiroshima. Like, people would be upset, even though it's historically accurate. It'd be like, why did you turn that part into a game, you know? So I don't know how they do it historically accurately and with doing the source material justice without pissing off a lot of people. Kill the imperialist games. I think how they probably will do it is by pitching it as like, you probably play as somebody within the Aztec civilization, and that none of the human sacrifice stuff actually happened, and it was just imperialists and people from Spain twisting it, making stuff up to justify their conquest, which a lot of people thought that was the case for a long time. But in this documentary I watched, they were like, actually, no, like, it was confirmed by a lot of different groups that interacted with them that this was the case. It's funny going back playing this now after like playing a lot of this game, seeing some of these characters and places and stuff that you'll see in the first like 10-15 hours of the game. It's just kind of cool to see it all come back. Like, oh, I know them. But yeah, it's just, I think there was a little bit of speculation that maybe, just maybe, that wasn't the case, but it seems like it was. There's a lot of like pretty clear reporting from the time that those human sacrifices and stuff were happening. It's almost like trying to cancel an ancient civilization. Internet rules, even 10 years ago or 1,000, you are accountable for your human sacrifices. Yeah, well, like, if they just, I would respect them a lot if they just came out and they said, listen, we consulted with a number of historians and we spoke to them and they said that this is what happened, and we have reason to believe that this is what happened, and that's what we're going with. We're going to stick to what the historians are telling us to do. I respect the shit out of them. They would still face some blowback, but let's be honest, they're probably just trying to avoid making anybody upset at all, that they're just going to walk the line and act as though nothing happened. Which, to me, is just dumb, because it's like the surefire way to upset both groups of people. Like, well, we don't want to upset anybody from Spain by suggesting the Spaniards did anything wrong. But then we also don't really want to upset anybody from South America that might get upset about that. So, like, it just gets stupid. So this is already interesting. So when I played as my other character, who, let's just say, has like a backstory where he's like secretly a serial killer, wants to kill people, is like obsessed with it, there are some dialogue differences that occur, and even some of the pacing and stuff. So like this, I just search him and then I move on. When I'm playing as that other character, there's like a whole cutscene that plays here where I'm like looking at the body and like obsessing over how messed up the body is. It's honestly like a little disturbing. Simple disclaimer, don't view this game through a modern lens. This is factually accurate, not based on current morality. Well, yeah, it's also just like, it's historically accurate. Like, we're not saying that these guys are good for doing human sacrifices, or that they didn't have other decent things about their civilization, or like quality art or something. We're just saying, like, this is what's been reported, that this happened, and that's that. I think it gets tricky when you turn stuff like that into a literal game. That obviously upsets some people, and I think that's why it's a bigger problem. Just like, you know, you imagine if they took a really serious historical incident and then turned that into a mission in the game. Even if it's historically accurate, people are just like, it's just kind of not cool to turn that into a game.
Blasted door, What?
This is also different. If you get her out...
Wait. It's you.
Yeah, if you get her out on the ship, this is different.
Free me on the ship.
Yeah.
At least you made the effort.
Suddenly you see what she sees, feel what she feels.
Yeah, and if you don't make the effort, if you're just like, no, I'm not helping you, then this conversation goes entirely differently. So like there's three...
Did you feel that?
Well, I guess 4 possible outcomes.
You've got the same thing I do.
She could die on the ship. Like, you get her out and then she dies in that combat somehow. And then you also get her out and she makes it out with you, and then she's passed out on the beach near you with an artifact. Or what I tried to get her out. Couldn't do it because it didn't pass the checks, and so she was staying there, and she eventually got out, obviously, but at least she respects me for trying. And then the other option is I just say, no, I'm not going to help you at all, and I just leave. Then this goes totally differently. I'm not sure does anybody in chat know if you can actually recruit her if you refuse to help her or even try to get her out?
The same. It must be that tadpole they put in our eyes.
Yeah.
I assume that's what caused our minds to
Riz her up, hell yeah.
cross. These things are going to
Rocky,
consume
good to
us
see
from
you.
the inside and turn us into
How many playthroughs am I doing for this? I'm doing 2 at the same time. My other playthrough is much farther along. I thought people might not like that are just trying the game for the first time might not like to see like late game stuff. So out of respect, I just booted up a new character that is melee focused instead of magic focused, which is what my other one is. And it's been interesting. Things are different. Things are certainly different.
We'll need supplies. I'm hoping something of use might be behind this door. But I've barely made a dent in it so far.
Well, I'm big strong. I help.
I can handle myself. But you're right. Time to try something else.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
I'm going to see what's at the top of this cliff.
Yeah, I remember how much Kingdom Come Deliverance upset some people for being too historically accurate. Yeah, you remember when everybody was saying that it was too white? Okay, everybody, I gotta be careful about this because I just naturally am like, yeah, everybody was saying this. Like, it was like 4 people, just to be completely fair.
Or just company for our final moments.
Oh, she likes me.
Whatever. You
Let's
can call
go. I'm Tommy. What's up?
it lead the way.
Okay. Then we unlock this. Love it. And then we also leveled up. Love that even more. So, yeah, people were saying that it was too white, that they whitewashed the history of like Czechs in in Europe. Everybody at the studio was like, respectfully, our history is entirely white. Like, you don't have to love it, but that just is what it is. It would be like setting a game in Russia and being like, no, the setting is too cold. And you're like, well, Russia's cold. I don't know what to tell you. What do you want from me, dude? I think I need an actual key. Yeah. Can't break it. So we'll go up here. The Mind Flayers are the most metal antagonists I've ever seen in a game. Yeah, they're freaking awesome, dude. Quick save, baby! Quick save early and often. It cannot hurt. Also, for those wondering, we are playing this on the regular difficulty right now. If you change it to easy, it'll like boost your health. So you'll get more HP. Which can be handy for sure. I've also been playing Mass Effect Andromeda. Apart from the glitches, I don't get the hate it gets. Am I missing something in there? No, I mean, it's mostly the glitches. Like if I look up, hold on, let me pull up the server. Let me try to show you this. So when I played Mass Effect Andromeda back when it launched, it was so broken that like this is the footage I captured on my PS4 at the time. Like the ground just didn't render. So like it wasn't just like broken, oh, this is hard to enjoy. Like you just couldn't play it. Like this is unacceptable by every standard. So I captured this footage way back in the day. I wonder if, yeah, April 6th, 2017. And I've kept it all this time. 6 years ago, I captured this footage, which is crazy to think about. But 6 years ago, I captured this footage, and I've kept it all this time just to be able to show people in the future that, no, like we aren't exaggerating when we say how bad this was at launch. Like it was this bad. So, yeah, this is why it got the hate. But that's why I also have been doing those I tried videos where I go back and try the games after the fact, because sometimes they do fix it. And honestly, sometimes it's not as bad now and they fix it up and it looks and runs way better and you can actually enjoy it. But when a game launches like this, a lot of people will naturally dismiss it and just not really entertain it any further. And that's just unfortunate, because even if they fix it, a lot of people won't ever go back to it. Yeah, in 2023 it's way better. Well, Nikki went back and she played it, I don't know, maybe a couple months ago, probably a little further, like 6 months ago, and she had a jolly old time. She actually really liked it. Those things are definitely not humanoids. Okay, I'm gonna give me a shield and that turn. Lacerate. I should have, yep, bleeding effect applied. I might be able to get him on this. No, only one action shard. Gain an extra action to use this turn. I freaking love this ability. I think it's super broken, but I am not complaining. Let's do just main hand attack. Let's get him knocked off balance. And you see that little arrow? That just means that they can interrupt. So like if I try to run past him, he can attack me before I get away. Sometimes it's worth taking that chance. Sometimes it's just like, I'll just stand here. Then the bleeding just killed that guy. Then I interrupted that attack. Love that. And heal me. Move forward. Voila. Honestly, I think the early hours of the game are still like they're tilted pretty heavily in favor of melee characters. Having gone through this on normal with a magic character, it was far more difficult, frankly. You should do an AC tier list. I think we did like a few months ago. I think we also did it for the Arkham series as well. Far Cry 7 is rumored to be about the Congress talking to the UAPs. Dude, I do love that they just like casually mention, oh yeah, by the way, like aliens are real. Anyway, bye. I'm like, that's it. Everybody's like, wait, what did he just say? Yeah, aliens are real. Oh. Like, yeah, it's fine. We have like their bodies and ships and stuff, but it's fine. And like, you know, you guys know me. I'm a proud skeptic through and through. And so when I see that, I'm like, okay, it's literally just a guy talking about what he heard from another guy and how that means that there's aliens. I'm like, I think we need a little better evidence than some guy said a thing. Who's talking? Is he still in there? No, he's up here.
What's up for discussion?
Also, I know I wasn't there, but how was Jay? I like talking to him. How was the collab is essentially my question, I guess. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed talking to Jay. You guys remember Monday, I think it was, when we chatted with Jay? So says Jay. I thought he, like, super thoughtful guy. Like, I appreciate he talks like a PowerPoint. So he has a very organized way of thinking and discussing. So you can ask him like 3 questions while you're kind of just running through your thought process. And he will go through each of those bullet points and respond very thoughtfully to each one. So it was really, really interesting. And I thought he had a lot of interesting perspectives.
There. Can you see it?
And I think we ended up just totally agreeing. I think it's just like my stance is that Ubisoft or Unity rather is the best that we have, so there's not much else we can look for or enjoy for like classical big budget, more modern Assassin's Creed style games. Whereas like I wish there were better ones. Mirage maybe will take that crown, who knows. But so the collab I've gotten so far, my 100%. Yeah, exactly. It was really, really funny because he was saying that one of his dreams is to talk with Joel Raptor. And so I was like, well, you know what? I have connections, my friend. So I think we can make this happen. Mine is 0. Mine's probably like what, 25%, 50%? Because we got the guy from the Titanic Honor and Glory project on. And I thought that was a really fascinating conversation. There were so many little things about that discussion I had with him about the Titanic project that I just had never considered before. Like, even little stuff. You ask him, like, why don't you use the Unreal Engine MetaHuman for making, like, all the NPCs on the ship? And he's like, well, honestly, we've done a lot of experimentation with it. The thing with the Unreal Engine MetaHuman creator is that everybody looks like siblings. So everybody would just look super inbred. Plus, it only really knows how to make characters that are modern looking with modern haircuts and stuff. It's not very good at making people look like they're from 100+ years ago, you know? It's like, oh, that's fascinating. Guest streams are some of the best. You moonlight as a solid interview. Oh, I appreciate that. I don't know, it definitely takes a lot more practice to get there, but I love talking to the guests and just getting a conversation going. I freaking love it. I'd love to do it way more often. Even if we had like a weekly thing, like Fridays are the interview day or Mondays are the interview day, where we have a guest on and just chat about stuff. I think that would be fascinating. I'd love to do it, especially if we get some like game devs on or something. Oh,
Don't we? I saw you on the ship, free, scuttling about. You're in league with them, aren't you?
spilled some.
Those tentacle. Ah!
Your mind twists. You're looking out of unfamiliar eyes, prowling dark, busy streets.
Are you hitting on me?
The memory, but it fades to the worm, the light, the fear.
The problem is finding people.
What was that?
I have more people I want, but like they are 200K plus channels. Yeah, it's tricky asking them to come on to a smaller live stream channel, even though my channel is bigger than theirs, or maybe just as big, or still big but smaller, you know, if they're like a 1 million plus sub channel. Like, I think it's easier to convince them to come on to like a main channel video. Like, I was talking to Mutahar about doing a collab on Yakuza, and I think we're still working on it. It's just I gotta find the right thing to click that video together. But like big YouTubers will come on and do stuff with me, but it's always the idea's got to be right, you know. You should ask Colt to be a guest. Yeah, I mean, straight up, Rocky, if you wanted to ask Colt and just be transparent, like, so listen, Colt's or Luke's had, you know, he's reacted to some of your stuff, and I think you guys disagree on a lot, but Luke wanted me to reach out and see if you'd be interested in maybe discussing Starfield on stream. It'll be super amicable and friendly. And, you know, definitely be clear that, like, I disagree with him furiously and fervently on how he tends to approach things, but I would love for him to be able to explain his process. It's like Colt East Gaming, Colt East something gaming, I think. Yeah, he does like a bunch of Xbot fan videos and stuff.
The worm. Of course. That explains things somewhat. And to think, I was ready to decorate the ground with your innards. Apologies.
Dreamcast guy. I'm just gonna be honest, I'm not sure if I'd be able to like have a conversation with Dreamcast guy, frankly. Speaking of Mutahar though, Mutahar tweeted this. I haven't seen this yet though. Bro, is everyone just saying to actually react to a video, and if you decide to free boot it, just hire an editor to chop out the dead air, or just not re-upload it if it's just you walking away from the screen, or say nothing? It's not that deep, just do better, be an adult. This guy's completely brain dead.
This never react, right? Whatever. And you know what, chat? You want to tell me how it is? It's crazy just seeing all the streamers and all the YouTubers. You come out of woodwork saying, well, look at X and this guy, look, they're doing this, and well, I do this, and I do that. The varying degrees are fucking irrelevant. The varying degrees are fucking, it's all so tight in the same spot of fucking low effort. They don't get it that everybody's calling out all of this. The varying degrees are irrelevant. Nobody gives a fuck, but they pretend to care because it's an easier argument to push on social media to get backing from people. It makes them look like it's easier for them for people to digest. And you know what, dude? I'm calling their asses out. Ludwig does that, and Hassan does that. And Asman doesn't pretend to be pure.
I mean, I love making fun of Hassan for sure. I think what he's trying to say is that this is the amount of effort with the red bar that people put into their videos when they make a big video. And then when somebody reacts to it, it's low effort down here, therefore it's bad content. I think we all agree React content is certainly lower effort than actually making the video. Like, I do React content because people watch it. I'm not going to deny it, of course. Like, clearly we do. But we try very hard to make it transformative. The way I always approach it is just if the content, like if my reaction to it retains the value of just watching the original video, as far as I can tell, and then it's also me adding my perspective and something unique to it, then mission accomplished. And if people like watching it, they like watching it. If they don't, no worries. People's frustration with like XQC and Hassan and those guys is that they come in and do the barest low level stuff, which is what Mudahar is saying with like, you just freeboot it. So they'll just play it on stream and they'll just like have an editor chop it out when they do the final reaction video that goes on YouTube. And like, if you've never been to an XQC stream or a Hassan stream, like it's a meme. It's a meme. People will do like Hassan reactions. Whoop. Like images. Just, where is it? It's like the, I think it's just meme. Yeah, Hassan live reaction. Like, cause he will turn on videos and just like get up and leave. And like go, I guess, I don't even know what he's off doing. Maybe getting food or something. But like, they'll just let videos play while they are sitting on stream. And then that's a reaction. And the frustration for YouTubers is that they're like, they might spend months making that video and then they'll get 500,000 views. And then Asmongold or XQC or somebody will react to it. And those videos of them reacting to it will do 1 million or 2 million views. And they make a ton of money off of that reaction with very, very, very low effort. But the original content creator worked really hard and got significantly less out of it than the person doing very, very low effort. And the real kicker, because there is a solution, it's to copyright strike their reaction and to go in there, strike it, say, I own this content that you're reacting to. So you're going to pay me at least a cut, or we're going to split the ad revenue on it. If you do that to like XQC, can you imagine the craziness that you would deal with, like with his fan base coming at you? Like, dear God Almighty, it would be so toxic. It just wouldn't be worth it.
My name's Astarion.
Astarion.
Is that so?
Oh God.
So, do you know anything about these worms? Turn us
Yes.
into...
Yes. Hassan streams an 8-hour day. There are going to be moments when you get up from your desk. Yeah, nobody has a problem with getting up from your desk. The problem is like what is being described in that XQC clip is that people will like be sitting, like if we're doing a reaction thing where we're looking at a video like that Fall of 76 video where I just hit play and people like Hassan have been seen just like getting up from their chair and they'll just leave the room and let the YouTube video play. And all the while they're getting sub revenue, they're getting ad revenue from Twitch, they're getting all of that while just basically playing a YouTube video for you. So they're doing nothing but reaping the benefits of it. And people can just say, well, go watch the video yourself, but it doesn't really happen. More, I think, than anything, though, what's being discussed is just the frustration people have with XQC's reactions, which, let's be honest, XQC's reactions are pretty low effort. It's just him sitting in his chair. Like, what was the whole thing where he was like, no, Hassan was caught watching it was like Kitchen Impossible, I think, or maybe Master Chef. It was one of those like cooking food related shows. And he was just sitting on stream for 8 hours waiting for something to happen in the news. So he just watched like 6 hours of TV on stream, occasionally pausing and cutting in. And that was his content for the day. And that frustrated people because they're like, this is like the lowest effort stuff possible. And people are still watching it. They're choosing to go to him and watch his stuff, but it sits in a really weird area of like, what's fair use, because I don't think that's fair use. But on Twitch, you can get away with a lot of that stuff. On YouTube, you can't really get away with it. I'll tell you what, we tried streaming on Twitch for like a month back in May. It was a few weeks where we went back and forth. And the stuff you can get away with Twitch even now is crazy. Because, like, if you're not familiar how it kind of works on Twitch, a lot of the time, not always, but a lot of the time, is like, if this is the YouTube video, little rectangle player, right? You'll see the kind of play timeline, whatever, with the little play button right there, and then you've got the like audio slider here that you can move. What they'll do is, like, you'll stream the whole time and everything is happening in real time, watching MasterChef, reacting to videos that are copyrighted, whatever. And then what Twitch will do afterwards is they'll go in and they'll mute or cut out those sections that had copyrighted stuff in it. So they'll go in here and cut these bits out, and then these bits and these bits. So all those bits on the VOD are muted because they were copyrighted. But that doesn't really matter, because live, this is all you really care about on the top side of it, what people were engaging with live. Because you can have a video editor go in here and cut this up or rearrange it to make it fair use. So it's just, the Twitch system is baffling that it still works the way it does, because it's not I don't know how it's legal, honestly, but as a streamer, it's very nice because you can play copyrighted stuff and they'll just mute it on the VOD and it's not that big of a deal. If I do that on YouTube system is so crazy aggressive, they will just like actively strike it and shut down the stream. Like, you remember one time we were streaming here on YouTube and we watched a Rockstar trailer for GTA 5. A trailer. And that trailer is copyrighted. So Rockstar struck our stream down in real time while we're still streaming because we played a trailer of a game that they have. Or Apple's takedown. Yeah, we were reacting to the Apple stream that they were doing, announcing the Vision Pro headset. We were reacting to that live, seeing what that was about, and Apple struck the entire stream down. But I think everybody on Twitch was fine. It's just crazy. So, like, when I think of things that might make me consider going back to Twitch, like, that's one of the things. YouTube's just so aggressive with it. There's a lot of other crap with Twitch, but still. Should get a sponsorship for MS Paint. I agree. What are the odds we see Todd on a stream? Todd is very selective with who he talks to. Very, very selective. So I don't think that he would ever come on unless he's like secretly a fan of my stuff, which is very unlikely considering I rake him across the coals so much. XQC reacting is usually just him arguing with himself in circles, trying to understand a topic or what side to be on. Oh, I stepped away and totally missed that. I thought it was just reaction stuff. What Hassan is doing is I think it's just they're in a position where they have a big audience, and like there's been a common thing that people have said where like I think people, there's no nice way to say it. Basically, reaction content is sort of a cure for loneliness. You know, let's be honest. I think there's a lot of people that like being able to sit and talk with friends or spend time with people that they enjoy spending time with. And somebody like Hassan, or in a Hassan reaction or something, that kind of scratches that itch. And so they can sit, they can watch him watch something else, and it feels sort of like they're just buddies hanging out. And it kind of fixes that feeling of loneliness in a strange way. You know, it's almost like it's replaced the human connection that you would normally have when you're sitting on the couch watching a show with a friend or family or whatever. Oh, this is, I know where this is. Hold on. I don't really want to do that yet. I want to get this fast travel point. Oh, or these guys. They caught her. Lizelle. I wanted to go the other way. Get rid of them. Persuasion. Shoot the trap down. I'm probably not. Oh, it's only 5. That'll do. Just tuning in. What about Kick? Have you thought about dual streaming platforms as well? Yeah, so somebody was asking, like, what could we do with dual streaming? Somebody also asked right at the start of the stream, I forgot to respond to this, if like 4K streaming without a ton of compression was possible. It is. I specifically upgraded to like a VP9 capable graphics card on the streaming PC. Because I wanted to be able to stream in 4K and have it look great. And then we can, but it has bigger latency. So it will stream in 4K, but will have like 30-second latency, where I will say this, it takes 15 to 20 seconds to get to you, and then 15 to 20 seconds to get back to me, which is just frankly a lot. So like that's a bit of a bummer for me. Because I love chatting with you guys in real time. I love it. If we're doing gameplay streams or if we're doing a podcast or something, it doesn't really matter if latency is a little larger, but it did throw me off. We could probably get used to it, but it's also something only YouTube supports. Like Twitch, Kick, all of those places don't support. Maybe Kick does, but I don't think Twitch supports 4K for normies, at least. As for co-streaming is a valid option, but co-streaming also has added latency. So that is one thing to consider. It'll also add like 15 seconds, but then we can stream everywhere. The nice thing about being exclusive to one platform or the other is that you can partner there. So like if I'm streaming on Twitch, one of the big perks of that is getting like Prime subs or being a Twitch partner. And you just frankly can't do that if you're co-streaming. It's against policy and TOS. So that wouldn't really be an option. Jesus. Let's try that again. Takes 2 turns to refresh. Oh, then I probably shouldn't have done that. Oh well. And let's start chasing her down. And then this guy, sneak attack ranged. Got her. Dude, he's fire. You join me. Oh, I'll join you. A full squad this early?
You have made an ally from Crash Collect. Fool, you have a sharp tongue. Come.
Okay.
Crash must be near.
And then let's just search them. Okay. It's not surprising reaction content is so popular. I mean, how many times does a streamer get asked, hey, did you see that one video? Did you watch this show yet? That movie? Yeah, it makes perfect sense. And the get out of jail free card for every streamer is just frankly, like, if you don't like it, don't watch it. The reality is the only reason this content exists is because people watch it. Like, it's not that complicated. If people stopped watching reaction content because they think it's lazy and stupid, people would stop making it. It really is that simple. But because people watch it, they will continue to pump it out, and that's just the reality of the situation. Cermonia, thank you. Glad to have you. Welcome, my friend. I wonder, did I pronounce it right? Is that right? Ultrasound content is wild where he is now. I think it's just once you get a huge audience, you can do content like that and it's fine. Like, you can just get away with it. But it's like, it's just frankly, like, even XQC admitted, it's just lazy in comparison to the other stuff that you could be doing, you know? Let's sneak up behind him. Sneak attack melee. Love it. Surrey? Okay. Surrey, I will try to remember that, my friend. Appreciate you. Let's see. I've always wondered why you don't stream on your main channel. Do you want to make that look as clean and professional as possible? Well, like as of last year. Oh, nice. Those are only bonus actions. I like that. Oh, that's a nice ability. I don't have him as a companion on my other save, so I'm just not acclimated to him. This is cool though. So, as of like a year ago, the perk of streaming on the main channel was that, of course, it pushes out to all of your subscribers, but the downside is that people have the potential to get annoyed by all of the live notifications and to just shut down. They'll just be like, oh my God, stop. I don't want to see Luke going live again. I'm not interested in that. I'm subscribed for his other stuff, his videos. So I'm just frankly not interested. And I can respect that. I can understand that. But I do think that that's a big part of it. So that kind of prevented us from doing streams off the main channel, though we could. And what I also found was that overwhelmingly people on the main channel weren't that interested in the live content. They were primarily interested in the videos and stuff, which just is totally fine. I'd expect that, but it is different. Ugh. Oh my God. Missed both. How long do I think Starfield's gonna be? How long to be Fallout 4? It wasn't that long. It's like 27. Frankly, I would expect it to be kind of similar to this. Maybe it's like 40 hours for the main story with a good amount of grind built in, and then like 200 hours for completionist stuff. Because frankly, there's going to be a lot of stuff in Starfield that is very heavy on collect this item, go here, collect this crafting material, go to this planet, collect that. There's going to be a lot of stuff like that. Oh, it's interrupted. Okay. Can I just dash? Oh, come on. I didn't even see that. My bad. My bad. My B. Starfield's been real quiet. I have seen people frustrated by the lack of communication. There has been not much of it. It is weird, personally. I feel that they've been so quiet, but it might just be that they're waiting because they know that they're going to dominate headlines for a month. So just why stress about it when they don't need to? Which is fair. I mean, they're going to dominate headlines no matter what, so I don't think they need to stress it. Dude, we're all just missing our shots. What is the deal? Sacred Flame. Not enough space. Yeah, the game's been running really smoothly for me, but full disclosure, I have a particularly powerful PC, so I'm probably not the best person to look at. Oh God, did you see that? Right as I say that, of course, we hit a bug. That's funny. Right as I say, yeah, it's been running pretty well. That's when that happens. I love it. I finally just take him out. There we go. Jesus.
Time to push my luck again.
Okay, let's lacerate. Bleeding. Can I push him? Yeah, baby. 3. I'll gain another action, and then I'm going to res her. Yeah, I'm gonna be real, guys. Melee, I think, is the OP strat here. It's way easier to get through these encounters with melee characters than it is with magic or ranged characters. Why that is, I'm not sure. It might just be the balancing. It might just be that I suck with ranged. I don't know. But it's like so clear it's not even close. Nice pusher. Oh, failed it. No, she's gonna down me. Oh no, she missed. I'm running a 3700K and a 2070 Super at 1440 Ultra, and it's buttery smooth, no performance. Oh yeah. Ooh, baby. Ooh. Filthy. Uh-oh, stinky. Let's go. I'm getting Starfield ads now on YouTube, little animated shorts. To be honest, they don't really build personal excitement, but they're just bland lore vids. I'm sure they're effective for some, though. Oh, yeah, that was... I think I saw Maddie talking about that, and, like, who else did it? Juicehead also... That's his name, right? I didn't just say something offensive. He also was saying that... Or looking at that. And that was really weird to me. I was like... All of their videos came out, and they're like, oh, finally, Bethesda opens up and shares details. And then look at it, and it's just like an Edge Runners ripoff looking thing of just a cartoon with lore stuff, but it's already dealing or leading to a bunch of weird stuff where people are like, oh, so they showed this robot in the background. That means that robot will be a companion now. So we can expect to play those types of characters. It's like, bro, it's just a freaking cartoon. Like, it's not that, it's not anything too sordid. But like we've said before, everybody say it together. Hype makes you stupid.
Still breathing despite everything.
Yeah, this game is big. This game is ridiculous. I don't know how to describe it to people.
Try me.
Other than that, it's just a freaking massive game. It's ridiculous how big this game is. Okay, let's go search her. There we go. Take that. Take that. Let's go up and search him. Melee in D&D 5th edition is really powerful throughout. Magic is OP in the late game ranges. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm banking on. I have been very much leaning into... No, I'm already set. The melee stuff now, but my other save is all ranged, so we'll do that. What's my favorite free running system? Once you get practice, I love me some AC Unity, but it takes some time to get used to that. Mask of the Shapeshifter. Clothing chest, building, take home. Hi, Tommy. Hi, Mark.
I need a quick word.
I need a quick word.
A monster forms inside us, and you think to be...
Girl, you need to eat a hamburger. You are
Quick about your
scrawny.
rest. We must locate a crash.
Okay.
A thick-headed notion in a complex circumstance. Do you suppose the parasites inside us dare to rest? Take your rest. Should a single tentacle split your skull?
Hot. Okay. Yes, ma'am. I'll go to sleep now. Let's just sleep. Let's just sleep. Dying Light system is nice. Yeah, I like Dying Light system, except the glider. The glider freaking sucks ass. Okay, good, good. Everybody's rested up. Come on. We be romancing somebody in this playthrough? Yeah, there's a bear I have my eye on. Yeah, you can upgrade the glider a little bit, but in general, it's just not very good. It's gonna be tough. Nope. I failed. There's just one guy in there, and there's like a couple of goodies. It's not that crucial. Hey, I got it. The bear, yeah, baby. Question, like, is there any way to stream an Xbox Series X to YouTube without a capture card, or is it limited to Twitch? I don't actually know, FaZe. Honestly, I'm not sure. Yeah, I know Twitch supports it. I don't know if YouTube does.
Get inside and I'll rustle up some bandages.
Oh, for me, it's not the fur, it's the claws. Yeah, tight. Yeah, the claws are what get me.
Who the hell's... You're dead!
Mm-hmm. Have I played a lot of co-op in this yet? No, I have not. I have not. Gotta have advantage over the target. Okay, we'll just do a regular.
Don't linger.
Okay, let's jump in and lacerate. Can I just end him here?
Stay focused.
Jeez, dude. Yeah, I think with magic and ranged stuff, that encounter took like 2 turns.
Huh, I'll give it a shot.
That's ridiculous. Oh, I thought I had the key. I guess not. Yeah, base install is 97.73. Yeah, the game is huge. The game is freaking huge.
Only dust and silence.
Who are those prayers for? Normally the
Your
patron
mom.
is obvious. Not here.
Thieves tool, finance key, run thieves tool.
Never a dull moment.
I just didn't have them routed. I thought I didn't have any.
Need to find a way forward. A couple times should do.
There we go. Okay. Add a bonus, guidance for this. So all told, I'm gonna get. Please work. Okay, Jesus. It's like if we waste all this. Okay.
I'm not even sure this is a door.
She doesn't seem that worried about it.
Get past Andor. Back off.
No. I'm here for fun. Yeah, run into the oil. That will end great for you. Sucks to suck. Can I just jump over me? Yep. Sure can. Sure can. Okay, I'm gonna have to just leapfrog over myself. Okay, that was good. Guiding light. Whack, whack, whack. She dodged it somehow. Jump over. Charge up. Let's do a ranged attack. This will probably miss too. Nope, did very little damage. That's okay though. Me, I'm gonna run up as well. And I don't have any abilities. Oh, reinforcements. Yeah, baby. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. We're okay though. That's okay though. Little bit out of range. Oh, I missed it too. Jesus.
On my way.
There we go. Let's dash her. Jump over that and charge up. Then I'm going to give myself another action. And then I can lacerate. Nice.
The only way out is through.
Okay. Him, I'm not gonna be able to do any of that, so let's just shoot. Hey, got him. Okay, with you, let's just run this way. Missed him. Love it. Okay. Jeffrey, thank you for the 2. Appreciate you. Yeah, not that big compared to COD. Yeah, COD is like stupid how big that game is. For real. Probably rush. Oh god. Oh, so close.
I can't even catch my breath at the ready.
I feel kind of bad for these guys. Just getting pummeled. Okay, finally, somebody does something. Do I have an advantage on him? Yeah, he's threatened. Ooh, that was nice. That was sexy. Nice. Ooh, 10, baby. Oh, that's a good attack. Let's all do a short rest. Heal up a little bit. Jesus. There's a good number of items in here. Leather boots. We can sell these. Great club. Interesting. Okay, I'm not sure that's for me, but some pro journey through. Okay. Quarterstaff. That quarterstaff might actually be good for you.
Never wanted the easy part.
There we go. What else we got? Love it. Let's see. I made the mistake of going here before meeting anyone else after Shadowheart and Legel. Oh, really? Having more companions is definitely, it makes things a lot easier. If you're playing this and you're like, I just can't get through encounters, go get yourself a full party. It really helps. Really, really helps. It's also frustrating that YouTube will push React videos to the top searches recommendations before original videos. Yeah, I don't know why well, I do know why. The algorithm just heavily weighs channel size when recommending stuff. So if a channel has 5 million subs and did a reaction on the fall of 76, that video is gonna do way better than a small channel that might have made the video. Oh, did the door open? Sure looks like it.
Cursed to put my hands on everything.
Dank Crypt. Yeah, it's dank. Hell yeah. Do I know how to check how far you are to leveling up? Yeah, if you just hit tab, it'll take you into the party view, and then it'll show you where experience levels are up here for each party member. So you can keep track of it that way. Heavy oaken doors. Oh, baby, Jeffrey, thank you, my friend. Very generous. Protection from evil and good. Okay.
Jeffrey Garcia super chatted $4.99. Off topic, but will you a final verdict video for Starfield before launch? I really like your take of this game, and I like your unbiased opinions, fam.
Yeah, I do anticipate making something like that. I don't know what I'll call it. But I do anticipate making something like that. Hide during dialogue. Can I just not show it at all? Let's do that. So I do anticipate doing that. I mean, it's going to be a lot easier once I've seen what is actually up with the game, once I've tried it and can speak a little more with a little bit more information. Do we seriously not have any trap? Trap kits or anything? Leather boots. Fumed letter, thievery tools. Camp supply, keychain. I mean, I guess I'll just quick save and we'll just go with it because I don't see any tools. There's a lot of bodies. Like an uncomfortable number of bodies around.
Looks like a trap.
Ooh, I almost got myself in trouble there. Like, there's no way this ends well, right? There's just no way. What is that objective? Find Zoro.
Be wary. This place is trapped.
Dagger. Yeah, there's no way. Anyway, how to join Patreon here. I don't have a Patreon anymore. Instead we just do memberships here.
Can't keep me out.
There we go. So there should just be a button that says join if you want to join and be a member. Oh, baby, that's nice. That's pretty. What camera do I use for streaming? I use the same cameras as the main channel. So they're both Sony A7S Mark IIs. Oh, there we are. And they get the job done. I've gotten them all used, like hella used, and so they are certainly overkill for what you need. Nowadays you go with like a 5300 or a 60, like an A6000 or 6300. Any of those would work great. You don't need a camera like this, to be clear, but these cameras do get the job done. They work very nicely. Very nicely. I need to do this too. Little bonus. Let's see. We only need... we can probably do it. Yeah, we made it. Worst case, this can only provide a 1 in the worst case, so then we're good. Members only streams coming up. Yes. I keep like spacing to do it. I think we I just need to start scheduling them because today's Friday. So I think you just need to start scheduling them. Maybe I'll be back on tonight. I can see that. Or maybe this afternoon I'll get back on and we'll do just like a kind of casual hangout / building and painting Warhammer figurines. That could be fun. Oh.
Open up. Armed scribes, but no sign of a struggle.
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong here?
Subversive about their words that they commanded protection.
Am I playing as Rogue? This playthrough is very much focused on heavy melee. Just getting up close and personal, trying to kind of deal damage as quickly as possible.
I didn't think anyone worshipped the scribe as the dead.
Failed a religion check. My dad would be furious. Perception. Perception. Thank God. See, if you only have one person and they miss the check, you're screwed. But with 4 people in the party, they each get to try the check. Oh God. Schooly ghosties.
Hells, something just woke
Okay. Okay, so they all got it. Yeah, they all woke up. Sneak ranged. Just move over here. Oh. I thought because I have high ground I would have the advantage, but I don't think I do. Oh well. Oh well. Good thing I quick saved before this. These guys look nasty. They're level 3 and all my characters are level 2.
Well, so much for peace. Just be on my way.
So that's not good. Dare I say bad? Dare I say bad? Ooh. Oh God. Do I have an idea if this is coming to Xbox? It is, but apparently they're having trouble getting it working with the Series X. And let's just have you leap down. So yeah, the Series X is causing them problems and they can't get split screen working. So they're saying 2024 they should be getting the series or the Xbox version of the game out, but as of right now they just haven't been able to get it. And instead of like, oh yeah, the Xbox version is launching and we had to get rid of split screen to get it working, they just said, nah, if we can't just get you the full game, we just won't do it. We'll just wait till we can figure it out. Which I can almost appreciate more than them trying to like force it. Okay. Let's get you. Yeah, let's do this. Finished him. Oh, no way. He has 1 HP left.
On the move.
Survival is all that matters.
Okay, let's have you shoot at him. Take him out. And I miss, of course. That's why we can't have anything nice. What if I have you go here? Jump to him? Nope, can't. I don't think it's that crucial. I think he'll be fine. She's silenced, but I just heard her shout her move. What companion is my favorite? The one I know most is Shadowheart. So I'm a little biased there. I like her. Lizelle, I think, is just kind of generally annoying. Takes a long time to loosen up. There was that 12. Where was that earlier? Jesus. But yeah, I'm certainly biased there, but she's probably my favorite right now. Yeah, Jeffrey, that's so stupid that it does that. If you go ! join in the chat like this, it should link you the thing in theory. Maybe, maybe not. There it is. Another thing I kind of miss about Twitch is that chat commands work. On YouTube, they don't really work. I'm gonna do this. Hamstrung, love it. We're gonna run you up. Oh, nope, not that. I want you to heal, and then we'll also do this. And of course I miss. Have you try it. Nice. Just have him rush. I'm having my very first D&D game soon. Any tips? I mean, most of the tips are just like around getting, like it's all going to be based around your DM. So, like, bring snacks. Be prepared for it to go for a while, because it can. And also, like, never doubt the power of a little bit of background ambiance music. That can work wonders. You get like some environmental tracks going. It can work wonders for immersion. It can work great. I've had some amazing D&D games that are almost just based around that. Just having quality music and sound effects to kind of build to it.
Hope your soul is in good hands.
Nice. Okay, now I'll give myself an extra action. And let's try piercing shot. Oh, no way. He's just out of range. Damn it. So you're telling me I did all that for nothing? I totally did. I gave myself an extra ability and I didn't need it.
Don't want to draw any attention.
I guess hide. Just like it doesn't do anything. I use that and it's just out of range. Jeffrey, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good to have you, my friend. Let's try. Nope, out of range. Let's just do a firebolt. Miss me, miss me. Now you gotta kiss me.
Step quick.
And then Yusa. 5. Oh, he's got 1 HP left. Okay, then I can give her another action since I'm gonna have to do a short rest anyways. And let's do piercing shot. If this lands, it'll kill him. And of course it misses. Love that for us. And
Need to find a way forward.
let's do... I don't want to use a scroll. Let's just do ranged.
What do we have here?
There we go. Golly.
Rising from the dead just to protect some dusty old
Should we bring back hashtag faith of mods? Yeah, I think so. It's funny because like
Best be on my way.
I don't think there's any right solution. Like there's pros and cons to every platform. Twitch is like actively shooting themselves in the foot with everything they do with like creator payments and splits and stuff. However, I do think like a lot of the quality of life improvements that Twitch has made are great. And like we all like Ludwig talked about this too, where we all were hoping for, oh God. We all were hoping for like big improvements to the streaming side of things on YouTube. and YouTube just has totally abandoned that. Instead, all of their focus is on shorts. Like, they aren't doing anything with streams anymore. It's all based on shorts.
So he has spoken, and so thou standest before me, right as always. What a curious way to awaken. Now, I have a question for thee. What is the worth of a single mortal's life?
So he has spoken. What he will speak by crying the tomb bit. What are you, peaceful undead? Interesting. Why aren't you attacking me?
Because that would be senseless. Wilt thou answer my question? So, I ask again, what is the worth of a single mortal life?
Life is, well, the value is as currency. Doesn't matter to me otherwise. Each life is of infinite value and merits sacrificing everything for. The only life that matters is mine. Depends on the mortal. No one life is worth more than any other. We are all equal. That depends on a person's deeds. I'm role-playing as like a brash, tough barbarian. So in my head, if somebody has committed terrible deeds, they've basically forfeited the value to their life. So I'm gonna do that.
Sure thou believest as such. Very well. I am satisfied.
What happens when one of your companions die? You can, like, if they're dead, you can go back. I guess this is a spoiler, so I guess mute for 10 seconds if you don't want to know. But basically, this guy's going to show up at your camp, and then you can pay 200, I think it is, gold.
A strange coin. I wonder what it's worth.
And, nice. With that 200 gold, you can bring him back. I think on the hardest difficulty you can, though. Somebody have to fact check me on that. Anything good over here? Let's see. Spoiled it. Uninstalling. Yeah, I think on the hardest difficulty, you have to... You probably lose them forever, I would assume. But on balanced, it's fine. One of the other things also in combat, so when somebody goes down in combat, in normal, you have like 3 tries to get them up, but if you're playing on Explorer, they just stay down, and like you don't have to rush to them to res them. Yeah, avoid traps. I'm just gonna do the long rest now.
Chucky, come closer. Dry skin, clear eyes, stolid bearing. You do not suffer. You flourish.
Yeah.
Disturbing. We should feel them now. Our bones should ache, our mouths should bleed. Yet we thrive. It is madness.
I agree.
Keep your rest short. Time is not our ally.
Yeah, she's like that girl in high school that takes everything super seriously. And you're just like, it's not that serious. Calm down. It's okay. Uh-oh, what's he doing? It's also like 80 degrees in here. Jesus. Finish syncing the cloud save. Damn, dude, that's a Dank Crypt. is this gonna spit out? Oh, I know where we are.
Moving in.
Right back up here. It's all connected, boys.
That might be worth a look.
It's all connected. Oh, baby. Then up there is that. It's the Elden Gate. Yeah. It's the Elden Ring. Love that you just took a nap in the middle of enemy territory. Oh, later on, you're like in a goblin encampment, basically. And it's like a pretty elaborate thing. And there's enemies everywhere, but after you finish an encounter, you can go to your camp and rest so that you have spells and stuff available for the next encounter in the next room. So it's like you're in the middle of a goblin fortress, basically. And you're just like, okay, nap time. Just take a quick night off, and then you go into the next room and bash some skulls and stuff. You know, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It gets the job done. Okay. Okay. Close that down, close that. It's like 85 degrees in here. I'm dying. I pulled this up. I don't remember why. Battlefield 2042 devs have doubled down on specialists, stating that the player base just didn't understand them. This type of discussion really doesn't build confidence, while the new Battlefield game is stated to be a reimagination of the franchise. When we look back at the data and we really start moving forward with introducing the class systems, one of the big things we really started to understand was that a lot of our issues came from the fact that players didn't understand how the specialists were supposed to work. And if you don't understand how something is supposed to work, of course you believe that the old way was better. Feedback from players was really good around this, so we had to find a way to give them what they wanted, but still allow us the freedom and flexibility that we originally wanted too.
Okay. Now it's just bad game design. EA DICE a while ago said they learned valuable lessons from yet another dumpster fire of a launch, and I really don't think they've learned anything.
I mean, it's kind of just like passing the buck off. Like, it still is their fault, even if this is true, that this system is way better than what used to be there, and players just don't get it. I can see that, but yeah, I still haven't played BattleBit. I should play BattleBit. Is it actually that good? My brother's been talking it up. This has got to just like piss them the hell off though, right? That they spend thousands and thousands of men and women developing Call of Duty, and then BattleBit launches looking like this. Gotta piss them off though, right? Like, surely it does. Surely it does. Like, they have thousands of people working for years on these Call of Duty games. They launch and the response is really negative, and then BattleBit drops made by like 3 guys and overwhelmingly positive response. Maybe it's just different, like a difference in expectations. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Oh, this was also really funny. I thought, or really interesting. I thought I would mention this before we wrap up. Flush with the Baldur's Gate 3 vibes, Larian CEO tells acquisitive corporations to take a hike. I'm getting older, but I'm certainly not done yet. Interesting. So back in 2021, Larian piqued the interest of Microsoft as a possible acquisition target, but Larian said they find it flattering, but are not interested, which is very, very interesting. In a chat with Bloomberg, Larian CEO Sven Vinke, I don't know, I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced, I'm sorry if I butchered it, responded to a question about a 2021 internal Microsoft list of potential acquisitions that circled back in June this year. On that list, which also featured the likes of Sega and Bungie, Microsoft appeared to be toying with the idea of picking up Larian, but apparently it's not to be. Vink told Bloomberg that while it was, quote, always flattering, end quote, to catch the eye of parties like Microsoft, he's not at all tempted to sell the company just yet. What he said was, quote, I'm getting older, but I'm certainly not done yet, the Larian CEO told Bloomberg, who worried that the monolithic corporate owner like Microsoft could end up limiting the studio creatively in the pursuit of profit. To be fair, Microsoft has been, by all accounts, relatively hands-off with its myriad acquired studios over the last couple of years, sometimes to their detriment, but I could definitely imagine a world in which Baldur's Gate 3 isn't as wildly ambitious or as replete with distinct genital tailoring options because of the corporation's oversight. I mean, all of this makes me think that they probably will eventually sell, just when the CEO and owners are kind of at a point where they're like, okay, yeah, I'm good to retire with my yacht. And if they have another banger like Baldur's Gate 3 after this one, and so they have two bangers in a row, like, dear God, I mean, easily that's $1 billion company, I would think, if these numbers are to be believed. Like, surely. Anyway. So, yeah, how much does BattleBit cost? I think, let's see, BattleBit. It's $15. But also, like, games like Warzone are also free to play, technically. So I think that has part of it. Also 254 player servers designed around that. It's also a very low impact game. You can play it on a potato, so that's also really nice. Plus, people also just love the idea that a small team like the underdog is beating up the big crazy company at the top of their game. So but I mean, it just again reaffirms that people are just freaking sick and tired of these Battlefield style like annual Call of Duty games that launch and they make good money, but people like, it's like an abusive relationship. People play them and then are like, oh my God, I hate this, but they keep buying it, keep playing it. And I think if there was an alternative, they would just switch over to that. That's why I'm so interested in X Defiant, which Ubisoft is working on. And by all accounts, Ubisoft really, they're taking their time with it. They're going to try to make sure that that thing lives up to its potential. And all the people that know what they're talking about, all of the Call of Duty players and pros, by every account I've been able to find, have been saying that it's actually really good. So, yeah, Madden syndrome. Yeah, it's one of those things where everybody hates it, but they still buy it. It's just like, well, then what, if you hate it, why are you buying it? And they're like, because what else am I going to buy? I need the updated roster. And that's how they get you. I personally love how Microsoft is going to slow down the COD yearly release. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they approach it. Long-term support's going to be key, but they also are definitely approaching this in a very different way. So I'm also very intrigued. But Anyway, guys, it is like 85 degrees in here. I'm sweating like a pig. So I am going to call it there. We've had a wonderful time. Thank you for playing and enjoying Baldur's Gate 3 with me. It's been a joyous occasion. We will be back on Monday. Next week, the Free Roam podcast will be hosted by one and only Luke. Joel Raptor is on vacation, so we'll be doing that next week, probably live. That'll be really interesting to see how a podcast goes, just with me rambling for an hour. But we'll try that. And then next week, we have a couple of interesting videos, a couple of games launching that I think will interest people, and we'll discuss all of that next week. It's going to be a good time. Anyway, thank you everybody for chilling with me. Much love to all of the new members, all the donations. You guys were very generous today. You always humble me, so I appreciate you greatly. Never think I take you for granted. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your friends, enjoy your family, or if you're working, try to enjoy your work. Stay safe, and I'll see you very, very soon. Hugs and kisses. Bye-bye.